Hello and welcome to the Vibe with the 3 and 5 podcast. I'm Cam.
And I'm Emily. And as we normally start off, we're going to be covering some Syracuse basketball news. So continuing the theme this podcast. So we've actually landed a couple transfers, which is very good. And they're going to be on the team this year. So guard Kyle Cuff Jr. and center Naheem McLeod have committed to Syracuse.
Yeah, very good. I was very excited to see, especially McLeod. Cuff is a 6'2" combo guard coming from University of Kansas. He was ranked a 4-star recruit out of high school, and he has 3 years of eligibility left. McLeod, oh my gosh, beast, is a 7'4" center from Florida State. He has 2 remaining years of eligibility, which is just great. So that fills our hole of Jesse Edwards leaving. Hema does not have to start, thankfully. Nothing against Hema personally. It's just we needed someone else. Keeping the news with Syracuse, but we're going to switch to football. Syracuse quarterback Justin Lamson has transferred to Stanford. So we covered last week that he was in the portal. He has committed to Stanford now. It's very unfortunate for Syracuse, but we wish Justin the best of luck. Hopefully Garrett Schrader performs well this season, and if he is needed, I pray to God that Carl Stelvio Wilson can have some success this season, like if Schrader gets hurt or plays bad or something. Yeah. Please, CDRW, please do good. That's all I ask.
So we have also landed a couple of people for Syracuse football, a couple of JUCO players, starting with we have a Barry Buxton, a cornerback from the JUCO, and a safety, Jacoby Seaborn, another JUCO pickup. And we have gotten a transfer, a 3-star offensive lineman from Kentucky, which is really good, David Wallabo.
Very good. I like that we're picking up some guys still. We lost a few guys, but glad that we're still picking up some people.
Yeah.
Moving on to Boeheim's Army, we have our third commit of the 2023 Boeheim's Army squad. 4-time TBT champ DeAndre Kane has decided to rejoin Boeheim's Army. I'm so glad to have DeAndre back. He was on the team when we won it all. I've personally really liked him always since he's been on Boeheim's Army. He's been one of my favorites, even though he's never been on Syracuse. He's still one of my favorite Boeheim's Army players. So glad to have him back. Some great TBT experience. Hopefully he can guide some of the newer guys like Tyus Battle out there. I'm really looking forward to Boeheim's Army this season. I hope we can get another championship in it.
Yeah, it's always a fun thing to watch in the summer because at that point the NBA season's over. College hasn't started yet, but you got Boeheim's Army, so you can root for them folks. All right, some Syracuse Mets news, or more so New York Mets, but they have promoted catcher Gary Sanchez, El Kraken himself. So he had the choice to opt out of his minor league contract, but luckily he was promoted to the Mets, so Gary will avoid a possible opt-out. So that's great news. We'll keep him on the team the rest of the year, so love to see that. We love Gary.
Yeah, I hope he comes back down. I don't know if he's going to come back down to Syracuse, but we'll see. Hopefully, like you said, the Mets can keep him around. Additionally, we need a round of applause for this one, folks. Mark Vientos was recalled from AAA Syracuse. Goodbye, Mark.
Bye.
Goodbye. And in return, Luis Guillorme was optioned to AAA Syracuse. So we got rid of Mark Vientos, who we could not stand, and we got Luis Guillorme, who we actually like. So very good transaction by the Mets. I'm very excited to see Louis back in Syracuse. I mean, I can't wait for the Louis. That walk-up song. It's the best.
Yeah, he was down in 2019, and he was always cool. He actually signed for the fans, so, we love that. But more Syracuse Mets news. So the offseason signing, they got Abraham Almonte, and he finally is playing, but he has not been doing too well in AAA. Cam, do you want to go over his stats?
All right, Abraham Almonte, 2023 AAA stats. In 19 plate appearances, he is batting .053 with 1 homer and 3 RBIs. So not a hot start at all for Abraham Almonte. I mean, I expected him to do pretty well since he was a major leaguer, a former major leaguer. But hitting this bad in AAA is not good and not going to get you anywhere in the MLB. So I expect Abraham Almonte to probably be released pretty soon. with these horrible numbers.
Yeah. I'd expect to see about 200 from him or
exactly
around there, not 53.
That's just horrible. I mean, I could hit better than that. Come on.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to do our MLB prospect watch, so I'll just stay on the slides. So this week, our MILB prospect watch is Elly de la Cruz. Now, we're going to see Elly this upcoming week in Syracuse because Syracuse is playing the Louisville Bats, which is the Reds AAA, as you can see on the screen. Elly is the number 4 prospect in all of baseball. He's a switch hitter and throws right, age 21, and he's a shortstop. Stats for the 2023 season, he's been tearing the ball up. In 100 at-bats, he is a 280 average, 6 homers, 21 RBIs, and a 379 on-base percentage. So Elly is proving why he is a top prospect. He's really doing well for the Louisville Bats. He started the season on injury, but he has come back. I see him getting promoted any day now. I hope it's after the Louisville Bats leave Syracuse, but the Reds need all the help that they can get. I really can see Elly de la Cruz going up to the majors any day now. He's tearing the ball up.
Yeah, he has some great stats there. I'm pretty excited for the Syracuse Louisville Bats series. That's the thing we don't really see often. And I'm going to whip out my J. Bruce Reds jersey, so you guys can peep that in a vlog.
I have mine on right now. Now we're going to do a segment that we did in the past. So we did MILB Cool or Fool. So we're going to revisit the segment. So some players have become cool. Some players have become fools. So we're going to give our updated list on who's cool and who's a fool. So Emal, starting off, we have Ronnie Mauricio. He was originally cool. In the update, I said he was in between. Some days he's cool, some days he's a fool. Overall, I don't really know what to say about Ronnie. I mean, I like him as a player. He's my favorite Mets prospect, but he doesn't really sign autographs, so that's why he's a bit in between for me.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like that, I think he could have the potential to be a really great player, and he, definitely does play well. But he's a little iffy with fan interaction and stuff like that. So I'm with you on in between.
Definitely. All right, Emal, next is Francisco Alvarez. Let's go over this one.
Yep. So one that hasn't changed is Francisco Alvarez. He was originally a fool, and in our opinion, he still is. Obviously, is he still up on the Mets?
He's still in the majors.
So, yeah, he's still in the majors, so luckily we don't really have to see him down in Syracuse, but when he was in Syracuse, nothing changed with him. He still didn't sign autographs or anything like that, so he stays a fool.
Exactly. Next, we have Ronald Guzman. We're not going to see him this year like we said in the original segment of this, so update, he's still cool. He was cool before. Nothing's going to change with Guzman.
Yeah, he's always going to stay cool with us.
Exactly. Next, Emal, who do we have here?
Brett Baty. Originally a fool. Update is still a fool. So he's another one who's up in the majors, but we did not get his autograph any of the times he was down in Syracuse so far this season. So, he's still a fool based on our previous experiences with him. I'd honestly like to see that change, but you never know.
Exactly. Next, we have Scott Kingery. Now, in the first rendition of this, he was cool, and in the update, he is cool for the most part. I say for the most part because he is weird when he signs autographs.
Very odd.
So one day, I was first, and then it was Emal, and then Becca. He did 2 for me and then 1 for them, which made no sense. And then the next day he did 1 for all of us. Pick a number, stick with it, sign. I don't really understand that. And he didn't seem too happy with me that I was getting his autograph again that next day.
And it's just crazy because, obviously I appreciate him signing. He is definitely one of the better players you might see in the minor leagues. But it's like he is a minor league player. He's been, and he's probably he will be for the rest of his career until he retires. But, it's just pick, I'm going to do 1 per, I'm going to do 2 per, I'm going to do the same amount for all of the people, It's just weird, the inconsistency with him signing.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's just weird. That's why he's, for the most part, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Next, we have Emal. This is a big change.
Woo! We got Jose Peraza. So he was originally a Fool because, like, last year he was known not to be too nice, didn't really sign much. I remember Cam defacing and just, like, destroying, like, 20 cards upper deck in Syracuse. I remember he scribbled all in blue Sharpie across one. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But he has changed his ways, and really anytime you ask him to sign, he'll do one or two. So he's consistent with the signing. He's very nice. He's a pretty good player. Overall, I honestly really like Jose. He's in my top 5 for Syracuse Mets players. So we'd love to see that.
Hey, like that, he changed his ways. You were once a fool. You become cool if you change your ways. That just shows Jose Peraza doing good in the world. Next, we have Nick Dini. Literally.
Nick Dini.
Originally, he was cool. Update, still cool. When Durham came, he was amazing. So nice. Racked for all of us. Overall, Nick Dini, amazing player, amazing guy. Still cool. Emal next. I think I know who this is next. Yep. Who it is. Look who it is.
Look at it. It's Khalil Lee, our favorite. So originally a Fool for many reasons. I don't think we have to list them all because if you're a viewer here, I think you know. An update, he's still a Fool, but he is a Fool who has been released. So
hashtag Khalil got released.
Woohoo! So still a Fool, you know. I don't know. Maybe we'll search him into Google and I'll like still try to follow his court case and see does he get locked up, you know? Hopefully. Does he have to pay a fine? Like what happens with him? Maybe he's proven innocent. I don't know. That'd be crazy, but you never know. So it'd be interesting to kind of see what happens with him. But in my opinion, I think his at least American baseball playing is over.
I agree. Next, we have Lucius Fox. In the original, he was cool, and he is still cool in the update. When Rochester came the first series, he was so nice. Took pictures with both me and Emal. Signed for us. Like, anything you can ask for. Like, great player, great guy. Emal actually got a foul ball from him. It hit it hit Lucius's bat and went into Emal's hand. Like, direct contact from Lucius's bat to Emal's hand. Like,
it was a great moment. It was wonderful. That was like probably one of my favorite times so far at the Syracuse Mets this year because Lucius Fox is probably one of my favorite, like easily top 5 minor league players. So love him. Love how he is with fans. He's just an awesome guy, and we wish him so much success. Yeah.
Hopefully he gets better soon. He's currently on the IL. Hopefully his injury heals soon. Next, we have Nick Meyer. Emal, let's go over this one.
Nothing's changed with him, and my insight, I don't think anything will. Originally a Fool. He stays a Fool. His walk-up song is so annoying. Like, I beg you to change it. Like, please change your walk-up song.
Literally. And he's telling people not to catch if you're a catcher. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Like, look at his photo, too. Like, he just looks miserable. Like,
he is miserable.
What? He is, yeah.
Overall, that's the revisit of MILB Cool or Fool. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was definitely fun making the slides and updating them and seeing who's changed their ways and who hasn't. Overall, seems like a lot of people haven't changed their ways, which is most likely bad because a lot of these people were fools. All right, now I'm gonna go to Turtle. Does it show the screen still?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Now we're going to do NBA Purtle. So NBA Purtle is kind of like Wordle for the NBA. So here are the rules right here. You get 8 guesses. Try any current NBA player. Green in any column indicates a match. Yellow in the team column indicates the mystery player at one point played for this team but does not currently. And the position column indicates a partial match. Yellow in any column indicates the attribute within 2 years. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I'm sorry. Yellow in any other column indicates this attribute is within 2. So either inches, years, numbers of the mystery player. If you get stuck, try enabling silhouette mode. And there's a new mystery player every day. Emal, who do we want to guess first? No, we don't know who this is, by the way. We're not cheating. We have no clue who this is.
Yeah, I don't even exactly know how to play this, so this will be interesting. I don't know. Like, who should we go
I think
with?
I'm going to start with Shea.
Okay, I like that.
In the West, in the Western Conference, shorter than 6'6", but he's either 6'4" or 6'5". So he could be 6'4", 6'5".
It's not LeBron.
No,
because he's like.
I'm gonna try Damian Lee. Oh my God!
No way,
Let's go,
dude.
Let's go.
That's
Damian
crazy.
Lee, Suns guard. Let's go.
Good job, Cam. That was very impressive.
Because I saw the Western Conference in 6'5" or 6'4", and I knew Damian Lee was 6'5". Let's go. Oh my God.
That was very impressive.
So we got the purple in 2 today. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That was pretty fun.
Crazy. Literally.
We'll have
we
to
should do this.
Doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a new segment. I think it will be a fun one. So it's what professions would these NBA players have in a different life? So if they weren't in the NBA, what would they be doing?
Exactly. So what we're going to do is there'll be a picture and what they would be on the screen, and we're just going to talk about it. So the first one we have Nikola Jokic, and he would be a convicted felon. I say this because of the fight he had with the Morris brother. I don't know which one it was, but it was last year. He pushed him. Overall, very aggressive. Seems like he would get locked up for something like that. Just looks scary. Overall, I think personally he would be a convicted felon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, he's a very aggressive guy, very tough. I mean, he's a good player, but he's definitely forceful out there. So I see where he could possibly be a convicted felon.
Next, we have an obnoxious one. This is very hilarious, in my opinion.
Oh my!
We have Jamal Murray as an adult actor.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't seen the video, don't look it up. It's been all over Instagram. Like when it first came out a few years ago, it was disgusting. But he made a adult film, let's just say, and he posted it on his Instagram story. It wasn't Instagram Live, I'm sorry. It was Instagram Story. I've been saying Instagram Live, but it was Instagram Story, yeah. And
why would you do that?
Let's just say the video went around everywhere, and yeah.
And like that,
nasty.
This happened in the NBA bubble when you weren't even supposed to have like people in your room or like anything. So he's breaking all kinds of rules and
yuck. Just yuck.
Yeah, not a fan of him at all.
Literally. Next, we have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and he would be an inmate. Now, I say this because he's been arrested before.
He was.
And as you can see on the picture right here, he had to play a Lakers game with an ankle monitor on. No, this is not Photoshop. This is a real image. If you look it up, it will come up. It is a real image. So I think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope would be an inmate because he's been arrested before and he's had to wear an ankle monitor on an NBA court. So
yeah, that's a pretty easy guess for what he'd be.
Next, we have Ben Simmons, and he would be a house builder because every shot that he shoots is a brick, and he's just putting up bricks.
That's funny.
He's just not a good shooter, so Ben Simmons would build your house for you if you wanted. Now, this last one, Emal, let me know if you agree with this. This is just what I was personally thinking, but I said Jimmy Butler would be a high school history teacher. Now, I say this because Jimmy seems like the type of guy to be like the cool history teacher in high school that doesn't care.
You just hang with.
You can hang out with him. He's like, yeah, I'll take late work 2 months late. I don't really care. Like, as long as you just pay attention in class, like, you can eat, you can go on your phone. Like, I don't really care. Like, you can do whatever, basically. He would be the chill high school history teacher, in my opinion.
He's chill. He's funny. He drinks his big face coffee every morning. He jokes around with the students, you know. He'll curse sometimes in his lessons. He keeps it interesting. Doesn't give too much homework. He's just the teacher everyone wants and loves, Jimmy Butler. And like that. He's like very interested in different stuff. Like he's like a man of very good taste. He has a lot of different interests, so I could definitely see that.
I was just thinking, I was making this morning. I'm like, because I didn't want to do all Nuggets players. I wanted to switch it up for a few. I'm like,
yeah, I agree.
I was like, Jimmy would be a high school history teacher. Like, I can just see me walking into his class being like, hello, Mr. Butler, like, what's up? And
he'll like he's got the glasses
chill.
on.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy Butler so much.
Literally.
All right, so more news about Ja Morant. Obviously, we know a couple months ago he had an incident showing a firearm on an Instagram Live, and he has unfortunately done this again. So he has been suspended from the Memphis Grizzlies after flashing that firearm on the Instagram Live. Again, this is the second time he's gotten in trouble for this, and he really needs to learn from his lessons and be careful, because I hate to see him throw away his career, his very, very bright future, to just not thinking, being careless, something like this, like that. Everyone loves Ja, and everyone's just a little disappointed in him for, making these kind of dumb decisions. So Ja, you got to change your ways. Like, maybe if you have to deactivate your Instagram, just deactivate it, because it's not worth throwing away your NBA career. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, Nike took all of his shoes off the Nike website. Like, their brand deal is probably done. But
sad to see.
Just crazy. Like, be more careful, Ja. Don't be flashing your firearm. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I apologize that my camera turns off when I share the screen. I don't know why it does that, but it does. So I'm sorry that it does that. But I'll look on how to fix it after we record this. Hopefully it can be better for the next episode. But yeah, we just noticed that now. Now we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs and scenarios. So what I did is I went through all the possible final situations and what I thought would happen in the NBA finals if these teams faced each other. So first we have outcome 1, Nuggets versus Celtics. So in my opinion, literally, in my opinion, Jokic would have the easiest matchup in this scenario. He'd be guarded by Robert Williams, who is very undersized as a big. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown would have easier matchups against Michael Porter Jr. and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who we talked about a little bit earlier. And in this scenario, I say that Denver would win in 6 games. So I hope this doesn't happen, but this is my prediction for Nuggets Celtics. Emo, let's go over outcome number 2.
Yep. Outcome number 2 would be a Nuggets and Heat series. So Jokic would have a more difficult backup because he'd be guarded by Bam Adebayo. And obviously Bam is a couple inches shorter, but he is amazing on defense. Might be the best defender left in these championships, because he's very great on defense. And Jimmy would have an easy matchup against Michael Porter Jr. So that'd be good. But Jimmy would probably need to guard Murray in this scenario because, he's been shooting very well. And Jimmy does play good defense as well, so he'd really have to be on him. And our prediction is Heat in 7. It'd really be a tough series. The Nuggets are going to be a hard team for anyone to beat, but we believe in the Heat, and we think that they could possibly beat them.
I think if Jimmy guarded Jamal Murray, he wouldn't do anything. And then the Nuggets don't have anybody else. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Michael Porter Jr., they're not going to do anything. Maybe 10, 15 points apiece, but they're not going to go for 30, 35. There's no way. So in this matchup, I think the Heat would do overall better. I hope at least.
Oh my God, it's so stressful.
Literally. Next outcome, we have Lakers versus Celtics. So Tatum versus LeBron would be a great matchup. But Boston could possibly put Jaylen Brown on LeBron and Tatum on AD instead. Overall, AD would have a good matchup, whoever he was guarded by. And my prediction is Lakers in 5 games in this series. I think the Lakers would have it easy in this series. I think you give Boston 1 game, but I really think AD would just dominate.
I really agree with this, especially if, certain people on the Lakers put up a 10, 15-point game or 15, 20-point game.
Exactly.
Because really, on the Celtics, you just got to worry about Tatum and Brown. And they would definitely have that covered defensively. So I think the Lakers would definitely win in this series, which is good.
Next is the outcome that we want. Oh, my gosh. Please.
Praying for this.
Lakers versus Heat. Now, I know, Emo, I'm sorry. I put Lakers in 7 for the prediction.
Okay.
But that's just
they
my
probably
take.
They probably would win.
But Jimmy versus LeBron, Oh my God, that would be like amazing. AD versus Bam, and it would be the rematch of the bubble finals, but the role players would really have to step up in this. I'm thinking people like Duncan Robinson would have to do well, Max Strus, guys like that on the Heat. Schroeder would have to have a good series, Vanderbilt, those types of guys. They would really be what makes the series, in my opinion. Because Jimmy versus LeBron is going to be back and forth. AD and Bam is going to be back and forth. It's 100%. Just going to be the role players that is going to decide who wins or not. In my opinion, I say the Lakers win in 7 games. I want to see Miami win, but I just think with LeBron and AD, I just think it's too much. And I think the Lakers have a deeper bench overall.
Definitely
I think Lakers in 7 would win.
Yeah, I really honestly hope to see this, even if, my Miami Heat loses. Lakers and Heat are my favorite teams, so the fact that both of them would be in it would be super cool. Very proud of both teams, how they've made it so far. Just these finals are so close. It seems like all of the games just really come down to just a few points, a few foul calls. It's just so crazy to see, but we'll be following these and keeping you guys updated on them.
Definitely. Hopefully it's outcome 4. That's what we're hoping for. But just please not Denver. Please. I just don't want Denver to win it all.
Yeah, exactly. Can't stand them.
NBA free agent predictions. Let's get into this one. So I think I have 10 players here. We're going to say what their team is currently and where we think that they're going to go in free agency this year. So first of all, we have James Harden. His current team is the Philadelphia 76ers. And my prediction, I think he is going to go to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, there's a little hint to a player down the line. But Harden wants out of Philly. I could see the Bucks getting him if they give up a player that we have later in the slides. Overall, this would be horrible. I hate to see Milwaukee doing well, but this is where I personally think Harden is going to go. I do not want him on Phoenix. Everybody, please stop saying Harden to Phoenix, Harden to Phoenix, Harden to Phoenix. No,
thank you.
No, thank you. I want Dame. We want Dame in Phoenix. Give up CP3, give up Ayton, give us Dame. Come on. All right, Emo. Next player.
We have Russell Westbrook. So he's currently on the LA Clippers, and our prediction is that he's going to stay with the Clippers. So some points that we say this is because, he was on the Lakers. He's still in LA, and we think, with his family and stuff, he probably wants to stay in LA. He's probably comfortable there. And honestly, that is a really good reason in itself just to stay with the Clippers. Also, he did pretty well on the Clippers. He helped them in a lot of scenarios, so he wasn't too bad with them. Yeah, he definitely did step up. And, maybe he'd take a little bit less money just to stay in the comfort of LA. And it seems like he fitted all right on this team. So if I were him, I'd honestly just sign with them again.
A lot of people are saying Knicks. I personally don't see that one. I say Clippers, but a lot of people are saying Knicks. I don't know why. But anyways, let's move on. We have Rui Hachimura. Current team, LA Lakers. Prediction, LA Lakers. There is no way that the Lakers let this man walk. I mean, come on. You need to keep Rui.
He's been amazing for you.
He's been awesome.
He's so good. And like that, he could be a starter. He should be a starter. He should be a starter. He's first player that you're going to see off the bench. He's so good. He will play good defense. It's crazy when he's playing better defense on Jokic than AD. Most people wouldn't expect that, but statistically it's proven. He's a good shooter, great defensively. He's just an awesome player, a really cool guy. I want the Lakers to keep him.
They need to.
They need to keep him.
There's no way around it. They need to.
They'd be a fool. They'd be a fool to let him go.
We have some interesting theories coming up. Kyrie Irving, Emal. Let's talk about this one.
All right. So he's currently on the Mavs, but we could see him possibly going over to the Lakers because I think everyone wants him and LeBron to play again.
Yeah, the Lakers would have to give up a few people in free agency, which is coming up. But I personally really see Kyrie being a Laker. It didn't really go too well in Dallas when he was on Dallas. He They didn't make the playoffs. Like, he kind of struggled. So I could see him wanting out of Dallas. So I could see him going to the Lakers. If not, I really have no idea where he's going to go because he's played for, like, every other team. Like, no one wants him at this point.
Exactly.
So who knows where he'll go. Maybe re-sign in Dallas because he didn't have too much time there. But we'll see this offseason. Emal, next we have Khris Middleton. And this is why I said Harden to the Bucks. Current team Milwaukee Bucks. Prediction, New York Knicks. I think Middleton is going to go to the Knicks. They need another scorer. I think he works well in that system. Brunson, Randall, Middleton. I think it makes sense. I don't want him to go to the Knicks, but I think that's what's going to happen. I don't like the Knicks. Heat in 6, whatever.
Exactly.
I just think Middleton's had enough of Milwaukee, and I think he's going to go to New York. I think he fits well. I think he fits really well there. So we'll see. Like we said, if we like that, all of these are just guesses. No one actually knows.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Like, there's a lot of good players in free agency. So
definitely. Next, we have D'Angelo Russell. Emal, let's talk about this one.
So he's currently on the Lakers. He's good, but in my opinion, he's a little bit inconsistent. And I think the Lakers could probably get somebody a little bit better, more consistent. But our prediction is that he's going to go down to the San Antonio Spurs. They just got Wembanyama. So having a player like that could help the Spurs out. But we'll see what happens. Cam,
I personally think that he's going to look elsewhere because of the Kyrie thing. This is one of the players that I have leaving because of Kyrie, because of the money.
Yeah, I could see that.
San Antonio works for him. They don't really have a true point guard. Yes, they have Jones. He's not amazing. D'Lo would fit well. He has somebody like Wembanyama to help him out, maybe win some games down there. When he could help Wembanyama develop his playmaking way more. I mean, I think D'Angelo Russell would be a good fit in San Antonio if the Lakers do pursue Kyrie, because you're not going to keep everyone if you get Kyrie. You're going to have to give up a few players, and D'Angelo Russell will want a decent bag. So he's one of the people I say give up if you're going to get Kyrie.
I agree.
Next, we have Austin Reaves, another situation. Just because of the money, I don't think it's going to work. He wants a huge contract. Current team, LA Lakers. Prediction, Detroit Pistons. It just works money-wise. I think Detroit could use him. They have Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. Reaves could be their first option off the bench if Ivey or Cunningham are struggling. I think he works well in the Lakers system, but like we said before, the money, it just doesn't work. He wants a huge contract. Detroit could give that to him if they want to. They don't really have a huge contract right now. So I think it just works with Detroit. He would be either a bench, first off the bench, or potentially a starter. Detroit's not going to do anything, and I don't think, really. He would just be one of the best players on Detroit if he ended up going there. But personally, I don't see the Lakers re-signing him if they get Kyrie. Next, Emal, who do we have here?
We got Kevin Love. So he, recently came down to the Heat, and our prediction is that he'll stay with the Heat. I think at least for like another year, because he didn't have a ton of time, but he's been pretty good on Miami. And I think since the Heat have made it this far, definitely with Kevin's help, it kind of shows that the Heat will think, we should keep Kevin around. And he seems to like it down there on Miami. I mean, who wouldn't like playing with Jimmy Butler and Bam?
Exactly.
So I think it would make sense for him to stay another year because they've been doing really well. So, I mean, I don't know why he'd want to leave.
Exactly. Overall, we think Kevin Love's going to stay in Miami. This last one is a bit of a meme one, but I had to throw it in here. Dillon Brooks, current team, Memphis Grizzlies. Prediction, Shanghai Sharks. There's no way he's going back into the NBA. He's horrible. If he does go into the NBA, he's going to be on like the horrible team, like I don't even know, Portland or somewhere, like somewhere no one is good.
Yeah.
Like, yikes, just yikes. I just see Dillon Brooks going over to Shanghai to hoop it up. over there and show everybody who's boss over there.
Honestly,
I mean, he'd be the MVP of that league. I mean, there's no debating it. So, Dillon Brooks predictions Shanghai Sharks. I mean, the Grizzlies openly said they're not bringing him back, so I think he's going over to Shanghai.
Bye-bye,
Next, we have NBA draft predictions. So, Emo, why don't we go over who won the lottery?
Yep. So, we got the Spurs. San Antonio Spurs won the draft lottery, and they got the best, Victor Wembanyama. So, I mean, first round pick.
Exactly. The draft hasn't even happened yet, but they're going to get him. Like, if you don't get him, San Antonio, you're just dumb.
You're dumb.
You're dumb. Like, you are going to screw up something generational, like, literally.
Yeah, so 7'5" center from France. I mean, 7'5".
I mean, look at that wingspan.
He can shoot. People have said that he could I don't know if I agree with this because, time will tell, but people are saying he could possibly be the best NBA player of all time. People are saying he has the potential to be that good.
I could see
he'll definitely be a superstar, and I really hope he does succeed because I don't know anyone who doesn't like him, but it's crazy.
It's just crazy. I mean, 7'5", he can shoot, he can play make, he can do everything. If you're looking for somebody that can do everything, you found him right here. I mean, come on. He can do literally everything. Now let's go over who we think is going to go in the top 5 besides Wemby. So, in my opinion, with the second pick, Charlotte is going to take 6'9" forward out of the University of Alabama, Brandon Miller. I thought about Scoot here. I just don't think it makes sense with LaMelo. Personally, they have LaMelo, they have Terry Rozier. They need that 3 that can score the ball when he wants to, and that's Brandon Miller. That is what they need. It's what they need to get. They need to pass on Scoot. I know Scoot is amazing, but Brandon Miller, I think, is the right pick for Charlotte here.
Yeah, he'd be a better fit with the Hornets.
Definitely. I mean, they already have LaMelo at point. You don't need Scoot. Or if you're gonna do something, draft Scoot, trade him, and get the rights to Brandon Miller. That's what they need to do. If they want to draft Scoot, they need to trade him.
Yeah.
But at 3, I have Scoot going to Portland. 6'2" guard out of the G League Ignite. Just makes more sense. With the possibility of Dame getting traded, this would be Portland's generational talent, somebody they could build around.
Yeah.
Please, Dame, come to Phoenix. Come on. Please. I'm begging you.
That'd be really cool.
Scoot is the generational guy that they need, somebody to build around, somebody that's young, built, 6'2", but he's a monster truck. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's so built.
I mean, yeah. He's personally one of my favorite prospects, so
I agree.
I'd like to see him succeed somewhere.
Next, Emal, we got a prospect that we're looking into a little bit about doing an interview with somebody related to this person.
Yes, I know.
We have Amen Thompson going to Houston. So he's a 6'7" guard out of Overtime Elite. His brother is also in the draft, but I think Amen goes higher. 6'7" guard out of Overtime Elite. I mean, that's what Houston needs, in my opinion. They have Jalen Green, they have Kevin Porter, they have Şengün. They need a wing that could give them scoring, but can also do things like defend and rim run. That's what they need. And this is what Amen Thompson is right here. He's your 3, could slide down to the 2. He can do, I mean, 6'7" as a 2, that's amazing.
Really nice. Yeah.
He can shoot, he can do everything. Houston needs to take Thompson here. If they don't, I don't know what they're doing. This is just the pick for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd love to see him with Jalen Green. I think they'd be really compatible.
That would just be crazy.
Yeah.
Next, we have at 5, this is the last one we have, but Detroit getting Cam Whitmore, who's a 6'7" wing out of Villanova. Now, this could be interchangeable with Thompson here. We could see Whitmore 4, Thompson 5, possibly. I don't know the likeness of that, but I personally think Whitmore 5. I think Thompson's the better player. 6'7" wing out of Villanova University. Overall, a great player. It's what Detroit needs, like I just said, with Houston's kind of the same scenario. Cade Cunningham at the 1, Jaden Ivey at the 2. You got Durant at the center. You need another wing, and Whitmore is what you need right here. 6'7", so like I said with Thompson, slide down to the 2, mainly a 3 though. Overall, it's Detroit, it's just what you need. Just please, just stop I'm tired. I'm not a Pistons fan, but I'm tired of seeing them sucking. It's been like 100 years since they've sucked, and it's just annoying. So draft your right guy, draft Whitmore here, and do good. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, build up your team for once. Like, do you just want to be mediocre and just terrible?
But
it will be
those are
interesting
NBA
to see.
draft predictions. And like you said, interesting to see. Draft night is always like one of my favorite nights in the whole year. Like, yes, I'm not much of a nerd.
Cool.
I'm not much of a nerd that I love draft night. Like, it's basically Christmas in June.
Feel that.
Yeah, those are our draft predictions. Moving on, we are going to finish up with our special segments like we always do. So my take of the week is that the Lakers will win the next 2 games at home and end up coming back and winning the series. Please, Lakers, I am begging you, please. We do not want the Nuggets, like, at all. Just please win. I'm begging you, like, literally begging. My chump of the week is Jamal Murray. Now, I think we discussed this one earlier. He is a chump. He's been killing the Lakers. LeBron needs to guard him. I don't care. LeBron needs to guard him. And the Lakers fans need to be obnoxious when he is playing at the Lakers' home. They need to bring up the incident that we talked about earlier. They need to bring it up. They need to start a chant or something. They need to bring it up to distract him. I mean, if somebody was yelling that at me, I would not be able to focus. So please, just try it. Even if it doesn't work, just try it for 1 game. Try it for game 3. And if it doesn't work, don't do it. But just try it, please. Now,
anything
Emo,
you gotta do to win.
Literally. Emo, let's get into your show and tell item this week.
All right, so this is a Sports Illustrated magazine with first overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. So shout out to Becca. Shout out to her for a lot of these show and tell items.
Literally.
She's really out here providing. But, you know, a few months ago on our podcast, we were talking about him because everyone knows, like, he's going to be a superstar. And she's like, oh, like, I got a magazine with him. Do you want it? And I'm like, sure. He's on there looking cool. I like the blue and green cover. I don't think I've actually, like, read what they have to say about him in here. I'll flip through it a little bit, see if there's anything cool. Not seeing anything too crazy, but it's just a cool item. And, you know, everyone thinks he's going to be really good. Personally, I think he will be. It'll be exciting to see him play. And, yeah, that's my
We love Wemby. We love Wemby at the Vibe with the 315 podcast. There's no beating around it. We love him. He's not even in the NBA yet, and he's one of my favorite players. Like, that's how it is here. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look out for a vlog next week. We should have a couple maybe going to the Yankees game and Syracuse Mets game, so be on the lookout for that. Emo, anything to add to this outro before we get out of here and say bye-bye to the fans?
Enter the giveaway, you guys. So
the steps will be on the screen.
Yes, perfect. And we may or may not be having merch pretty soon, right? So that's something cool to look out for if any of you guys are interested. But we appreciate you guys tuning in as usual.
As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, we're out. Peace.